Right, let's be clear. The UK's disability benefits system is not broken. It is being deliberately sabotaged by successive governments, and now Liz Kendall is pressing ahead with a brutal overhaul that will harm the very people it claims to help. A BBC article today has highlighted divisions between two Labour backbenchers who lay out their views on the looming cuts to personal independence payments. One spoke from experience. Sadly, the other could only quote from spreadsheets. I'm Mike Sivier of Vox Political. Buy me a coffee or donate more than £20 and I'll give you a free book. More on that later. Subscribe to the video mailing list, like and comment on this post, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But watch this first, to the end, because you're going to want to. Cat Eccles, MP for Stourbridge, knows what it means to rely on sickness benefits. She has been through the system herself. Her warning is unambiguous. These cuts will push people out of work, not into it. A number of constituents are in employment thanks to their PIP, she says, citing vital support like carers and reduced hours that allow people to maintain employment. Strip that away, and many disabled people will simply be forced out of jobs. Eccles is not alone. Around 100 Labour MPs are considering rebellion because this is not reform, it's reduction, and it's a moral failure. The aim is not to help anybody. It cannot be, considering the nature of the plan. Kendall's big idea is to cut PIP entitlement for 1.3 million people, not because they don't need it anymore, they will, but to save money for the government to spend elsewhere. Current claimants will be tipped into poverty. Many may lose their homes, prompting some to claim that this is a plan, with the dwellings being handed over to able-bodied people. Suicide rates are expected to soar. Many people with mental illnesses are already reporting suicidal ideation, they're thinking about it, increasing the strain on the health service before the reforms have even happened. And this is the actual result, and the reason Kendall's changes cannot achieve the aim she claims. The effect of her tinkering will simply be to pass the cost of disabled people onto other services. I've already mentioned the NHS. Social care services will also take the strain, as will other public services. She won't even get more people into work. Sure, she's putting money aside for that purpose, but the UK's businesses aren't hiring at the moment because of tax and wage rises imposed by Kendall's colleague, Chancellor Rachel Reeves. Anybody they do hire will most likely be able-bodied because those people are cheaper. They don't require expensive adaptations in their workplace, and they don't ask for time off when their conditions demand it. And, of course, cutting PIP from people who have jobs will simply force them to give up the work. Is that a secret part of the plan? Let's turn to David Pinto-Duschinsky, I hope I pronounced that right, who won his Hendon seat by just 15 votes and appears eager to prove his loyalty to the Labour Party leadership. He parrots the government narrative. The system is too expensive, claim rates are rising too fast, and reforms are needed to preserve the welfare state. This argument falls apart under scrutiny. Let's start with the premise that Britain's welfare system is broken. This is not a fact. It's a slogan, an emotional framing device used to justify ideological cuts. What does broken even mean in this context? That too many people are claiming help? That disabled people are too expensive? That government obligations are inconvenient? It's pure rhetoric, an attempt to stir up a fake moral panic aimed at making the case for a retrenchment sound reasonable. The shock doctrine in action, as discussed in a previous Vox Political article and video. Pinto-Duschinsky offers Treasury-sounding figures, but numbers without context are meaningless. Yes, PIP claims have increased because more people are aware of their entitlements and because the population is aging with complex physical and mental health needs on the rise. That's not a crisis. It's policy working as intended, reaching those in need. More importantly, PIP isn't a work disincentive, quite the opposite. As Cat Eccles rightly points out, many disabled people depend on PIP in order to stay in work. The logic of the cuts turns on itself. Reduce support, force people to quit jobs, and then pretend it's a work activation policy. It's absurd. Even the so-called transition period Kendall is now offering, 3 months before support is removed, is cold comfort. That's an extended deadline, not a safety net. It's a countdown to destitution. Pinto-Duschinsky's claim that this is about morality rather than savings is especially galling. This is a man who reduces disabled people to statistics, speaking of a moral duty to cut their benefits in order to safeguard the system. That's not morality. It's austerity dressed up in highfalutin language. He cites disability employment gaps as justification, but fails to mention what really keeps disabled people out of work: discrimination, inaccessible workplaces, and lack of support, not a lack of financial pressure. The government line, oft regurgitated by Labour front benches, is based on the oldest trick in the book: create a problem by vilifying a vulnerable group, then sell your cuts as the solution. Well, it's not going to wash. Not this time, right? Liz Kendall's package of cuts, dressed in talk of activation and modernisation, is simply the latest round of cruelty, delivered this time by people with red ties instead of blue ones. We don't need a more punitive welfare state. It's harmful enough as it is. We need one that understands that disability is not a moral failing or a budgetary inconvenience, but a reality that demands compassion, support, and, yes, investment. Eccles is right. Her critics, both in government and in her own party, are not just wrong, they are dangerous. I've been Mike Sivier, and it's time to buy me that coffee now. Donate more than £20 and I'll give you a free copy of my reissued first book, Strong Words in Hard Times. Subscribe to the video mailing list, like and comment on this post, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you do all that, well, you'll be a hero, and you'll be helping keep this channel alive. And then you'll be able to see me in the next one.